Hello there. Hello. Alright, just chiming in for today's live stream. It is going to be the A330 today, as you can tell by the title. We're taking the A330-200. We've got a Qantas livery for it with the cabin, so we're going to check that out. But you've got an A330-200 and we're in Melbourne at the moment. Gonna head on over to Sydney. Estimated flight time 1 hour, block time 1 hour 30 minutes, which I would say the live stream is expected to last about 2 hours. Let's see how that goes. Somewhere around 2 hours, depending on how much we waffle about. But yeah, let us see how this live stream goes. Great. I have not flown the A330 in a couple, maybe in a week or so, perhaps. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I don't think I'm too unfamiliar with it. Let's see how it goes today. Hopefully I remember everything. Anyway. Let's get into it, shall we? Alrighty. Just about getting done here, and let's go. There we go. Okay, welcome. Welcome. There we go, perfect. Perfection. Alright. We've got the nav bar loaded up. YMML, that is Melbourne. We're flying on over to Sydney, which is YSSY. So yeah, all the details are available, which is great. Alright, without further delay, let's have a look at our aircraft for the day. The beautiful A330-200 by Qantas. Absolutely lovely, isn't it? It is a good aircraft, and in my opinion, one of the few decent default aircrafts available for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Not many of those in the simulator, but anyway. Let's not waffle about and waste too much time, but here we are at Melbourne, and this is just the default airport for MSFS 2024. As you can tell, it's nothing special. Looks very, very ordinary, just like any other default airport. Perhaps the shape of the airport is correct, but that's about it. Nothing else loaded in there. We've got traffic injection, which is great to see. But yeah, the runway doesn't look too terrible, so I'm not sure. It's not the best looking airport. I mean, default airports in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but it's not the worst. It's not too terrible. You can work with it. It's got does it have glass jetways? It does, doesn't it? Oh, that's cool. It's got glass jetways, so something's working there. That's fantastic. Brilliant. Okay. Without further delay, let's just hop on in and get ourselves started up so we can get to Sydney here. There we go, cold and dark. Do we have ground power attached? It was attached, wasn't it? Yes, it was. So we can go ahead and get our batteries opened up there. Ground power attached, emergency lights armed, nav lights on, strobe automatic, cruise oxygen supply to on, ground control. Oh, sorry. Where is ground control? On the flight recorder. Can have that on. ADAR systems to nav, please. It will, that should disappear soon. There we go. Anything else we need to do? Yeah, no, not at the moment. I'm not gonna switch on the pumps just yet. Yeah, I'm not gonna turn on the pumps just yet. Engine 1, engine 2. Got all of that, we got all of that. APU is over here. We're not turning on the APU just yet. Okay, here we go. Let's take our sim brief plan, if it will let me. There we go, brilliant. That is fantastic. Got our OFP here as well. We are deviating slightly from the OFP today. We're not using the arrival procedure that the plan tells us to rivet 3. We're not using rivet 3. We're gonna use, if I'm not wrong, we're using Merlin. We're using Marlin 4 or something like that. We'll have a look at it as we program it in. Ground, we removed the chocks, the engine covers, and the pitot covers. I did that during the walk around. Already done. Okay, we do have our sim brief stuff here. Let me just take this. I'll apply it for the time being. I'll let you guys know why I do that. Okay, so that is done. That is great. Take off stuff here. We can sync that. We can calculate it. Okay, brilliant. All that done. Let's go ahead to our FMC here. And let's get things started, shall we? Clear all of that. FM1. Okay. Just gonna press the init request there, and we've got our flight plan pretty much. Let's set that in. 0 fuel weight 140.1. 140.1 slash 0 fuel weight center of gravity 25.4. Okay, block fuel for the day is supposed to be 12.2. Everything is in kilograms. It's an Airbus, so we're gonna stick with kilograms. Okay, that is all fine. Looking good. Looking good. That's all fine. Perfect. Cost index of 30. Okay, 30, 390 minus 56. That's all fine. GPS primary. Let's go to our flight plan here. Let's go there. Let's go to departure. We are departing out of which runway today? Let me have a look. I'm not entirely sure which runway we're departing out of. Runway 34, ladies and gentlemen. Runway 34, and we are using the departure dorsal 2 or 1. We'll use 2 today, and that's pretty much what we're doing today. Insert that, please. Destination, we are going to use runway 25. Hopefully we have, yes, we do. ILS 25. Marlin 5 is available, and that's the one we're going to be using today. Transition none, and let's insert that. Clear that. Perfect. Sounds good. Sounds good to me. Okay. Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay. Anything else we need to do? Let's just go through here, make sure we don't have any flight plan discontinuities. Oh, would you look at that? There are no discontinuities. Great. Let's go to performance now, and let's set up our V speeds and stuff like that. So to do that, we come here, come to our takeoff here, and let's send all this to the FMGS. Flex temperature of 72, THS is 5.2 up. Okay, 5.2 up. Oh god, made a mistake. Deny. Flaps 1/5.2 up. 78, was it the correct flex temperature? I'm not entirely sure. No, 72 must have been. Yeah, 72. Yeah, it says 72. Huh. It does say 72 flex temperature, but tells us there's entry out of range. Well, that is for the previous temperature, never mind. Okay, 127, 130, 133. Confirm takeoff data. All of this we shall do later. That is all fine. Okay, anything else we need to do here? I do not think so. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to come here. We're going to come to our payload. And we're going to say that apply load instant. That's going to give us a warning here. Very, very soon. It's going to give us a disagreement sooner or less. But then we're going to say sim brief. Okay, now we're going to wait. Now we can request refueling and boarding process. So let's request our refueling. Qantas, please. And let's also request boarding, which we have to wait for the refueling to finish, if I'm not mistaken. Boarding requested. Brilliant. So when the refueling truck actually arrives, we just need to press apply load and it will do its thing. Perfect. In the meantime, let's have a look outside. We've got the jetway connecting up correctly, thank God. Vietnam Airlines behind us. That is a beautiful livery, isn't it? It's always a really nice livery. Vietnam Airlines, one of my favorite liveries, and I've barely flown it. I think I've flown it once. No pushback. Cargo is being loaded up. Fuel truck is on its way. Brilliant. I love this aircraft. Look at it. Absolutely gorgeous. We got a takeoff there as well by Qantas 737. Where's the fuel truck going? It's coming to this side. All right then. All right then, Mr. Fuel Truck. There's our fuel hatch. Okay. Looking good. Let's go inside for a second. Let's set our local pressure here. QNH 1033, that is fine. Let me see FD. FD. And our cruising altitude for the day is supposed to be flight level 390. Flight level 390. Let's set that up there. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we have got manage mode available on speed, heading, and our altitude, and that is perfectly what we want. Brilliant. Let's go outside here. Wait for the gentleman to set up the refueling, and then we can request it via the tablet here. We just have to press apply load. That'll take care of the refueling. Perfect. We've got passenger boarding going on as well. Usually passenger boarding, it won't let you do that until you've finished refueling, but here we go. So yeah, A330 is one of those few aircrafts where everything seems to be working. Even that sometimes gives me trouble. So to tell you about the state of Flight Sim 2024 for you. Anyway, I promised myself I'm not going to spend today complaining about the sim. Got this weird artifact on the shadows. What is going on there? Why is it literally shimmering? I kid you not, there's always something going on with flight sim, isn't there? Okay, we can say apply load fast. And you'll see... There we go, the zero fuel weight disagreement. That will go away by itself once the fueling process is finished. The fuel on board is increasing, great. Okay, brilliant. I don't know why there is that shimmering artifact going on. I really have no idea why that's going on now. Haven't seen it up until now. So there is all of a sudden the shimmeriness. Good lord, every day there's something new going on. Why can't it just work? I don't know. But yeah, there's a little bit of shimmering going on. I don't know why that is. Okay, from here you can't really see it, but there it is. Weird stuff. Okay, at least we're able to see our passengers today through the jetway. It's been a while since I see that. It's been a while since I've seen that. Okay. Give me a second while I sort out some stuff here. In either case, since the passengers have pretty finished, let's go ahead and start up our oh good lord. What? Oh, the views on this one are a bit different from what I'm used to. 6, 7, okay, so we got number 6 is here. Number 7 is there, okay. I gotta reset these views here, give me a second. Let me adjust those views a little bit. These are my old settings. It's not what I use anymore. So we gotta adjust these a little bit. Excuse me while I do that. Actually go... Oh, good lord. It's one of those, huh? Let me go through here, this gap. Okay, you know what? I can't. Okay, I can't do this right now. Let me just set that up one more time if I can. Let's go up a little bit. Right, that's better. There we go. That is better. Okay, we'll use this view out to the right hand side. And on this side, this view is fine, I guess. Yeah, we can use this view out the left-hand side. That is fine. Okay, brilliant. We got the right-hand view this way. Oh, that's not exactly looking the best, in my opinion. Okay, we should put... You know what, I'm just gonna leave it. What the hell? Just gonna leave this one. I'm gonna leave that one like that, and then we got our views. Great. Brilliant. Let's go ahead and turn on our APU now. APU, please. Okay, give it 3 more seconds. There we go. Passenger is still loading, but refueling is done and cargo loading is done, which is fantastic. We got an open door here. Someone's gonna fall through, but I'm not worried about that right now. Is that another Qantas? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, great. All right. Not too terrible at all. What can we look at in today's live stream to keep ourselves entertained as we fly out? A very, very simple thing indeed. A very, very simple thing indeed. Okay. We'll look at some aviation news. We'll just find something interesting to keep it interesting. Okay. Still waiting here. Still waiting. We'll load up some aviation news along the way to discuss and keep ourselves entertained. For the time being, for the love of God, how many passengers are we getting on this flight? It's just a Melbourne to Sydney flight. 232 passengers. Seems about right. That's not too bad. Our APU is running, right? Yep, it is. Let's give the command to prepare and push back as soon as boarding is completed, but just about less than 30 passengers to go, so that shouldn't take too long. It should not take too long. Looking good here. Kind of looking good here. At least the shimmers have disappeared. Yeah, the shimmering has disappeared. Okay. Brilliant. Gonna wait here a little bit till all this finishes up. Let me check out the drone camera here. Oh, yeah, that's a much better view, isn't it? Okay. I believe that was the last of the passengers boarding up. And we should be able to see the pushback getting attached and gate, the jetway going away. I was about to say gateway, but there we go. Doors are closing and we are getting ready. We need to get rid of the ground power here. So let's do that. Come here, let's toggle the GPU out of here since we've got APU running for us. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Everything looking good. Everything is looking good. I like this aircraft. I've come to love the A330, if I'm being honest. Well, in all fairness, it's one of the... it's available across nearly every simulator. Very simple to fly it to. Virgin Australia has 737 behind us. Very nice. Pushback getting attached. Which way are we supposed to push back today? I even forgot to check that out. I have no idea. We're supposed to go nose to the right, ladies and gentlemen. Nose to the right is what we're supposed to do here. Yep. Nose to the right. Nose is being raised. Nose to the right, please. Let's release parking brake. TCAS should be on standby, which it is. Weather systems are off for the time being, which it is. Okay, let's go ahead and start up our engine, shall we? Beacon lights to on. Fuel pumps to on, please. Okay, brilliant. What else? That's pretty much it. Let's go ignition, engine number 2 today. Oh, do we have APU bleed on? No, we don't. Now we do, and okay, give me a second. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Our APU bleed was off, but we caught that early. Okay, right engine starting up. This Air New Zealand is going to go right through us, isn't it? That's the one thing I hate about FSLTL. Not going to do that for us. There we go. That sucks. Nonetheless, let's go back into the cockpit here. Why are we in reverse? What the heck is going on with this thing? Okay, my controls a little messed up, my bad, sorry about that. Okay, engine number 2, or rather engine number 1. Let's get that started up. We just set our parking brake here. Have we, yeah, we've taxied pretty much the wrong way around, haven't we? Yeah, we've pushed back the wrong way pretty much, I guess. Not an issue. Not an issue. We can just quickly turn this way and get out of here, so that's not a big deal. Not a big deal. Okay, engine number 1 coming to life. Okay, it's not a perfect start. Okay, it's brilliant. Ignition to normal. Flight controls, where are the flight controls? Okay. Okay, we've got the wave from right there, the hand signal. It's brilliant. Let's check out our rudder. Everything is good. Perfect. Everything is good. All right. Let's go predictive wind shear automatic system number 1. That to on. Flaps down. This will remain for the time being. Yeah, we'll leave it at standby for the time being. Altitude reporting is on. That's on. We leave it on standby for the time being. Everything is looking good for now. That is great. Okay, nose wheel to taxi here. Gonna put that in number 2. APU bleed can come off. APU itself can come off. Everything is looking good up here. Engineer's panel down here, all looking brilliant, which means we're pretty much ready to taxi out of here. And let's do that. Parking brake release. Parking brake release. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are taxiing the wrong way at the moment. We're going to correct that momentarily. We're going to correct that momentarily by turning off to our right first. Okay? So, auto brakes to maximum, ground spoilers, armed flaps have been set, signs, we haven't set the signs, oh good lord. That's fine. That's fine. Let's turn them both on. Cabin check, takeoff configuration. Okay. Takeoff configuration test. That's all we need to do. We'll do that later on. Okay, perfect. 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 Okay, I'm gonna turn our aircraft here. Okie dokie. It's a little bit too much of a turn, wasn't it? Nonetheless. That at 40. That's all looking good. Cabin is ready. We'll test the takeoff configuration right before we actually take off. We'll still get the takeoff inhibit warning. I have no idea how to make that go away. But yeah, we'll give it a bit of positive thrust. Not too much though. Don't want the aircraft to slip away from us. There we go. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Good lord, why are we sliding around so much? Need to get used to how this thing taxis. So a little bit, okay, I think that's quite realistic, isn't it? Yep, it is quite realistic. So you just gotta be anticipated accordingly. It is a big jet, even though it's a Dash 200 variant. It's still a heavy jet, isn't it? Looking good. Climb, nav coming up, and okay, that's all looking great. We're pretty much ready for takeoff, ladies and gentlemen, apart from the lights, obviously, and the TCAS. She doesn't tell us that TCAS is on standby. That's interesting. We're taxiing a little quick, yes we are. We're taxiing very quick, as a matter of fact. We gotta turn to our left first. Let's do that. Like so. Then we gotta go right. Like so. Oh god. I just looked away for a second. My apologies. We didn't go off the taxiway, so that's a good thing. Just looked away for a second and that aircraft got away from us, huh? Okay, let me have a look really quickly on the cabin side. There we go, looking good. Wing flex is looking nice there. That's also looking pretty nice, isn't it? We're looking good. Okay, we gotta turn right. We are taxiing a little too quick here. That's okay though. That's okay though. There's a little spot to turn around if we need to. We're gonna head on directly towards the runway here. Hold short of runway 34. Right here. That parking brake on for a second. Nose light to take off, landing light to on, and strobe light to on. That to on. Everything else is looking good. Takeoff configuration is normal, but we'll get the parking, the takeoff inhibit. TCAS. Let's take a look at it. Let's put that to on here. Let's put that to TA. And let's put that to all. And that's it. Release parking brake. Give it a bit of positive thrust there. We're on our way, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get on out of here, shall we? Let us get on out of here. Okay, just 39 minutes in. We're at the foot of the runway. That isn't too bad. That isn't too bad considering from cold and dark, including refueling. Well, we did speed up through the refueling, obviously. But yeah. That is good. That is good. There we go. Thrust set. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Nice and easy. There we go, leaving behind Melbourne, ladies and gentlemen. Nice and easy. Okay. Bring that back to climb right there. Gonna leave the flaps up for the time being. We're looking good. We are looking good. Flaps up. Okay, we should probably give it off to the autopilot, but for the time being, we're doing okay. Let's make that turn, shall we? There we go. Right, I'm going to give it off to the autopilot now. Flaps are fully up. Ground spoilers disarm. Everything else here looking good. All that is done. Okay. Looking good, looking good. Let's take a look from the outside. There we go. Leaving behind Melbourne. Ladies and gentlemen, behind us somewhere there is Melbourne. Not entirely sure if I'm being honest. Yeah, it's about behind us somewhere there. Is Melbourne. Very, very nice. Okay. Heading straight up now, almost towards 10,000 feet. But before we hit our transition altitude, let's take a look at that beautiful view. Nice little wing flex, lovely logo, the kangaroo of the Qantas. I really like Qantas's livery. Got wing view on both sides, huh? Got the engine view on both sides and the wing view as well. That's not too bad then. It's not too bad then. Alrighty. Before I go any further, let me go back into the cockpit. 10,000 feet, QNH to standard, as well as we need to turn off our landing lights. Nose lights can come off there. Everything else can remain the way it is. Seat belts, no smoking, automatic seat belts off. There we go. What is this? Cruise fuel used. We are supposed to cross check some stuff here, but you know, not gonna do that. Cabin lights can leave them a little bit on, why not? Looking good here, ladies and gentlemen, and we are up on our way out of here. Okay, we can actually increase the range here as well. There we go, we can increase the range here all the way. It's looking good. It's looking good, I'm not gonna lie. Top of climb there, right before Ebony. Apart from that, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful day here. Lovely. Looking really, really good. Looking really, really good. Brilliant. Let's get back in the cabin here. What is that? What is that? Is that accurate, or that's just shimmering going on? I don't know. I don't know. Let's just assume that it's accurate. But anyway. Lovely level of detail on the wing there. Nice little wing flex. All good to see. Let's actually go on outside. What does Alt 5 look like? Oh, that's cool. It's not too bad. Let's go on outside here. Let's go on outside here and take a look at the views. Okay. Ooh, look at us. Look at that. That is very, very cool. That is very, very cool. Beautiful stuff. Cruising altitude is at 39,000 feet pretty much. But what a lovely aircraft. Qantas, Spirit of Australia. I would agree with that. What is that? Oh, that's just that is a good looking scene right there. Anyway, let's cycle through the views a little bit, shall we? It's from the top of the tail there. Kind of looks weird. Okay, that is okay. That's all right. That's not a bad view at all. Okay, it's a little bit zoomed in there. That's zoomed in there. That's okay. Yeah, the views aren't great. But we got this one, which is a decent view. Yeah, but that's about it. That's about it. Looking lovely though. Looking lovely indeed. This is a better view here. I need to save some custom views for the outside. How do you do that in Microsoft Flight Sim? I'm not entirely sure how you do that. I hope I'm audible over the plane, because the plane is quite loud, but I didn't want to mute it too much, because then what's the point? You gotta experience the sound of the aircraft as well, right? You've got to experience the sound of the aircraft as well. Anyway, it's looking good. So head back into the cockpit here. Everything is okay. We got feed going on. Do we? What does it say there? Outer tank, yeah. I'm just gonna leave that as automatic there. I'm not gonna bother about that. It's fine. It's just fine. Leave this view because it looks really good. Oh, we didn't set standard on this side of the cabin. something I forgot. But yeah, our cockpit is looking real nice here. Beautiful. I find myself, you see, I originally started off flight sim with a 777, like I've said many times, and that has kind of made me a Boeing fan over the years. But I just realized I'm a fan of the 777 specifically. I might actually need to switch teams from Boeing to Airbus in general, because I'm just a fan of the 777. I really don't like the 737. I know that's pretty unpopular opinion probably, because a lot of people fly the 737, and they're also among the best aircrafts available in almost every sim. X-Plane has a good 737, MSFS has good 737, so I'm just not a fan of the 737. I have the PMDG 737. Is it good? Yes, but am I a fan of the aircraft itself? No. Unfortunately not. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the 777 and this one. I think I'm switching a little bit towards the Airbus side now. Nonetheless, let us discuss some aviation news. Let's see what is trending, what is happening, what is the latest. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Okay. All right. One of the interesting news is that we have over the past few days, I believe, or rather 8 hours ago, I'm guessing it's fairly new, VOPAS shuts down permanently after failing to perform 20 mandatory inspections. So the Brazilian Aviation Authority has just shut down VOPAS, and it's literally permanently revoked the air operator certificate for that airline. VOPAS Linhas Aéreas, if I haven't butchered that name. So they've just got their air operator certificate completely revoked. And it's because of repeated safety violations and systematic failures. So there was a crash of the airline VOPAS in the flight was 2283 last year, I believe. Yep. August 9, 2024, the ATR 72-500 being operated by VOPAS as flight 2283 crashed. It entered an unrecoverable flat spin. So 62 people lost their lives on board that aircraft. So yeah, the investigation into that is not yet complete or clear, but it has led to pretty much the airliner being completely shut down. So we're assuming it has something to do with safety standards and maintenance and all that stuff. So that is an interesting news that we have. I'll look into having a little scroll on the screen while I go through this aviation news and stuff. But yeah, just so it can be more interesting to watch. What else do we have? We could talk about the dangers of flat spinning and stuff, which is what led to the crash of flight 2283. Let's take a look at some more news before we talk about anything else. Okay. EU has actually thinking about banning hand luggage fees. I don't know if it's already in effect. So yeah. So EU is apparently looking to ban hand luggage fees. So that's going to be interesting for a lot of low-cost carriers like Ryanair, EasyJet and Wizz Air. Because they do make a buck by charging for cabin baggage, if I'm not wrong. So that's interesting. That is interesting. SAS, Scandinavian Airlines, is actually returning flights. They are bringing back their flights to India after 17 years, as Indigo, which I assume is a local carrier, expresses interest in Copenhagen service. So Mumbai to Scandinavia is in the picture now. That is interesting. In other very interesting news, Amsterdam Schiphol Airport. Is it Schiphol or Schiphol? I think it's Schiphol, isn't it? Okay. Amsterdam Airport basically is suing against solar panels. That's something. Apparently, solar panel glare poses a safety risk, and now they've decided to sue against solar panels. How that works, I have no idea. I'm just skimming through the headlines here. Boeing, as usual, is in more hot water with their labor. They've been apparently rehiring. Yeah, they've rehired apparently around 60 employees after some labor contract violations. Boeing on the hot end of stuff as usual. These days, they just seem like they can't get anything right, and everyone's after Boeing. Such a shame, but yeah, that is what we have. That is what we have. What else do we have? Let me at least change the view here. Spirit of Australia. One thing I don't like about the A330 though is the shading in the front. It doesn't look very good, does it? It gives it a very it gives it a very not so good of a look right there, but you know, it isn't the worst in the world, but yeah, could be better. I think it's better we stick to our view like this. Let's go in here into the cabin. We're still climbing, so we're gonna switch into the cabin for a bit. What else do we have? Spirit Airlines has decided to invest in first class and premium economy. There's something I thought I'd never read. What else do we have? Let's take a look at the world's 10 busiest airports for Boeing 777-200 LR flights. Now, as you know, the 777-200 LR is probably the longest range available for the 777, if I'm not wrong, and that is very, very long range, right? So let's take a look at 10 of the busiest airports for these ultra long range flights. Okay. So we've got 7 carriers who fly the 777-200 LR still. Air Canada, Air India, Emirates, Ethiopian Airlines, Qatar Airways, Pakistan International, and Turkmenistan Airlines. So these are the 7 airlines that still fly the 777-200 LR. Wait, you're telling me only these 7 carriers continue to fly the Dash 200 LR? That is a little low, isn't it? Okay, so its range is 8,555 nautical miles. That is a lot. 15,843 kilometers. Okay. So, to enable this capacity, it has a very high maximum takeoff weight. It trades off passenger and freight payload for fuel capacity. That is how it's able to achieve such a very large range. But that also means that its economic performance is reduced. Obviously, because you can carry less payload and you're carrying fuel weight rather than payload, that means that economically its performance is lower. So, and that is why it's been apparently very niche and unpopular. Interesting. But it was still a step up from the A340-200 it was supposed to supersede. So yeah, interesting. Let's take a look at the airports, top 10. So Dubai, we've got 336 departures in July with the 200 LR from Dubai. That's Emirates, Ethiopian and Qatar Airways. We've got 200 departures in July from Addis Ababa. That's Ethiopian and Emirates. We've got 179 from Doha. It's Qatar, Ethiopian. 142 from Toronto. That's Air Canada and Pakistan International. 109 from Sao Paulo. That's Ethiopian and Qatar Airways. Got 83 from Delhi, that is Air India, Air Canada and Ethiopian. 67 from Vancouver, that is Air Canada. 63 from San Francisco, that's Air Canada. 62 from Barcelona, that's Emirates. 43 from Mumbai, that is Emirates, Air India and Ethiopian. So that is interesting. That is interesting. Do we actually have a Dash 200 LR available for flight sim? In any flight sim? I'm not so sure. Not sure whether we have that. We'll get back into the cockpit here, take a look at what's going on. Where is our top of descent, ladies and gentlemen? Top of descent is all the way here. What? That can't be the top of descent. Oh, it is the top of descent. Okay. So we got a long way to go to the top of descent, pretty much. Not too long, though. We have been in the air for roughly 30 minutes at this point, I presume. Maybe 20 minutes. So we got about 40 minutes to go till we're on the ground. That isn't too long. It isn't too long at all. No, sir. It's not too long at all. Okay, let's see what we've got in terms of news here. American Airlines Airbus A321 suffers engine issue above Las Vegas. Okay. So an A321 operated by American Airlines was forced to return to Harry Reid International Airport due to an engine malfunction on Wednesday. Okay. The incident was captured on video. So it shows the right engine emitting black smoke and brief bouts of fire. One witness said it sounded like things exploding in Las Vegas. So we don't exactly know what caused it. What did cause it? I don't know. Okay. Apparently it's a mechanical issue. And the aircraft did taxi to the gate under its own power. So everything was normal. it did make a successful landing. So yeah. And the aircraft has been taken out of service. It has been taken out of service. Interesting. A lot going on in the aviation world these days relating to safety. A lot going on. All right. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, but we have one more interesting thing that I've just come across. Canada's 8th busiest airport gets regular Airbus A340 flights. Now, Airbus A340s are now not exactly a common sight anymore. But the Swiss carrier Edelweiss, is that how you pronounce it? Edelweiss? Is that what it is? Or Edelweiss? No, that doesn't make sense. It's Edelweiss, right? I don't know. Anyway, that particular carrier, it's doing its first ever Zurich to Halifax flight, and it's going to be operated with an A340. Okay, you know what? I need to do an A340 flight in X-Plane 12 using Edelweiss or Edelweiss, or however you say that. I have no idea. Je ne sais pas, as the French say. Anyway, interesting. So it's going to be Zurich to Halifax transatlantic route using the A340. Brilliant. That is interesting, eh? That is interesting. I would love to fly the A340. I guess I'll have to go to X-Plane. I'm trying to expedite my introduction of X-Plane to this channel because I really am a huge fan of X-Plane at this point. So I really need to expedite my my X-Plane introduction into the channel. Okay, that's enough of aviation news for one day. Don't you think? I've been talking for a really long time, non-stop at this point. So everything looking great in the cabin. We still got that weird shimmering thing going on, which I'm not gonna complain about. We're gonna assume that's because of the lighting, though I highly doubt it is. I think it's more likely to be a glitch at this point. Top of descent is roughly less than 160 nautical miles away, ladies and gentlemen, right here, and it's creeping ever so closer. We also have a tailwind component here. Almost sort of perfect here. Tailwind component and a little bit of crosswind there. So yeah, that top of descent isn't that long. Oh, let me check. Yeah, we'll be down in 23 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Just 23 minutes left. So yeah, it took roughly about an hour, about only 49 minutes or something at this point. We took off 26 minutes ago. And yeah, we're coming in just 22 minutes. Got 193 nautical miles to go, if I'm not completely mistaken here. Yep, 193 nautical miles to go. Let me have a look at that one more time, if it's accurate. If it is accurate. Yep, 190 nautical miles now left to go. Looking good. Looking good. Looking good. Yeah, that's good. That is pretty good. So yeah, we got 21 minutes left till we reach our destination, which isn't that long at all. So let's just switch back to this view. Let's have some cinematic, shall we? The cinematics still work. Oh, look at that, would you? Isn't that lovely? That was pretty cool. I haven't used the cinematic view in a bit in my streams there. Okay. I certainly hope I'm not too loud. I really do hope that I'm not too loud at the moment. But yeah, I don't think I am. I'm not entirely sure. I'm looking at the sound levels here and it sounds like I'm pretty good. Looking pretty good. Yep. I just can't get enough of this view. I'm not gonna lie, I can't get enough of that view right there. Because it just looks absolutely gorgeous, doesn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. Looks real good. Ooh, a little bit of a bump there. Just a little bit of a bump right there. Wasn't too terrible, was it? No, sir, it wasn't. Not at all. Not too terrible at all. Anyway, the journey continues, ladies and gentlemen. It continues. Okay. So I'm just double checking the ILS frequencies here. So 109.70 is the correct ILS frequency for runway 25 into Sydney, Kingsford Smith International Airport. So that we're on the right ILS frequency, which is fantastic. I'll actually show you guys a little nav map just so you guys have an idea of where we are. Well, you can just see from here. It's pretty clear today where we are. We don't really need little nav map, but there we go. That's exactly where we are, and there's the runway, which is going to go out, turn back in, and ta-da, back into the runway we go. But just for clarity, let's have a little look at little nav map. So that's where we are, and there is the runway. That's the alternate. We're passing our alternate of Canberra right as we speak. We're passing it. So there we go. We're gonna come in, go towards Marlin, turn in, and into runway 25 we go. It's not too difficult. Okay, straightforward there. Nothing too complicated. Brilliant. Okay. Pretty much looking all set here. We will have less fuel on board than we would want to by the time we reach. It's because of the deviation that I used. I didn't use the arrival procedure that was outlined in the SimBrief plan. I decided to go with another one, which would make our flight a little bit easier as well as give us a better view, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah. That is what I went with. Excellent. Excellent. Let's see. Let us see. Okay. See, how far away are we from top of descent now? Top of descent, less than 80 nautical miles away. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, not too far away at all to top of descent. This is brilliant. Let's just go outside, leave it on cinematic for the time being. And yeah, I shall be back in just a couple of minutes. Hey, we should probably start descending. Yeah, we should seriously start descending now. So let's go ahead and descend. Let's go and descend a little late there, but yeah, we're back here. That's okay. Not too terrible. We'll check our destination data. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay. QNH in Sydney. What is a QNH in Sydney? Let's have a look. QNH in Sydney is 10:31. Okay. There we go. Temperature. What is the temperature? I don't know how to read this yet. If I'm being honest, I have no idea how to read this. 280 10 knot. Let's set that for the wind. 280 10 knots. We need our V approach is 128, 123. That's fine. We need the temperature. We'll get the temperature in just a second here. Okay, temperature in Sydney is 13 degrees Celsius. Does that coincide with what we have here? I don't think so. 13 degrees Celsius temperature. And that's pretty much it. Should I activate the approach phase? Not yet. Okay, let's go here. Let's take a look at where we need to descend towards. 3,000 feet. That's where we need to descend towards. So let's go ahead and set that in already. 3,000 feet, looking good. I've asked for a steep descent here. And yeah, hopefully we'll be just fine. I'm not too sure. I am not too sure. Okay, there we go. Apparently we're supposed to be in Sydney in about 2 minutes. But that's assuming a direct trajectory at the current speed. So I'll say in about 10-15 minutes we should be landing. That's what I'll say. Okay. We're a little bit late to the party. Meaning, yeah, we're a little bit late to the party, but nonetheless. We're a little bit late on our descent here, but not by much. Not by much. Hopefully we'll be just fine. Let's find out. Let's find out. Okay, let's check. Give me just a second here. There we go. That's better. Let's have a look at the passenger view as we come in. As we come in, lovely textures, but a little bit of polygons going on there, but that's not fine. That's not too bad. That's fine. There we go. Very, very nice. Lovely. I think we're looking all right. We just need to change our transition, our barometer. When we cross the transition altitude, we need to turn on our lights. We need to turn on the passenger signs under 10,000 feet, and that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. Apart from that, we're looking good. We're a little bit above what we should have been ideally, but that's okay. That's okay. Qantas, the spirit of Australia. Airbus A330. It's bright and sunny up here. descending. Doesn't make any sense. Okay. Let's just have a quick look at little nav map so we have an idea of where exactly we are. We're way too high, mate. We are way too high. We're supposed to be much lower than this. Okay, we're gonna have a problem here as we come into land. We better descend, ladies and gentlemen. We better descend quick. We better descend quick. Let me head back into the cockpit here. Our descent rate isn't too bad. It is on idle. You know what? I'm gonna give it a little bit of spoilers here. Auto brake is gonna go to medium now. Just so we get a steeper descent right there. Yeah, I think we'll be okay now. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. I don't think we even need the speed brakes per se. Leave them to quarter. Perhaps half is a better idea. I'm gonna leave them on half. Okie dokie. Looking good here. Where are we supposed to be at 3,000 feet again? At Pegba. Where is Pegba? I don't see Pegba. Pegba, we're supposed to be at 3,000 feet. Let's take a look at little nav map, find out where Pegba is. Take a look at little nav map right here. We are here, as you can tell. And Pegba is right here. Glide slope at 1610 feet. Why are we at... Oh. Right, we're not supposed to be at 3,000 at Pegba. Okay. 1610 feet at Pegba, 3,000 feet at Jelly is where we're supposed to be. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. I think we'll be just fine. Obviously, in little nav map, it's not going to round off the route. It's just going to draw straight lines between the different waypoints. That's fine. It's up to the aircraft to round it up as required, and that is what we're seeing here. Okay, so we need to be 3,000 by here, which we'll easily make actually. So we're just fine here. I'm just gonna put that back up and I'm gonna leave it armed. Coming up on 13,000 feet already. Coming up on 13,000 feet. A little bumpy here. Let's take a look at that from the cabin. Oh yeah, we're a little bit wobbly. As we come into land, we're definitely a little bit wobbly here. That's okay. That is perfectly okay. Check the other side there. It appears much more stable from this side, but we can tell that it's very wobbly. Oh goodness. Okay, there we go. Okay, I believe we've begun our turn in, and we are dipping beneath the clouds here as well. There we go. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Head back into the cockpit here really quick. Let's turn down the range on these. 10,000 feet. Let's pull that, set it to local pressure. Let's pull that, set it to local pressure right there. Let's turn on our landing lights. Okay. It's fine. We need to put on our passenger signs as well. There we go. Looking good. Okay, it's not yet time for the landing stuff. Landing stuff. I believe this stands for landing system, if I'm not... Is that correct? Or localizer? I don't know. No, localizer is easier. I know that it... I guess it's for... the landing stuff, but I'm gonna call this landing stuff. Anyway, it's for the landing systems, I believe. Either case, there we go. We can see the water beneath us as we... Oh, we're gonna dip into some interesting clouds there. Very dark clouds. Look at the contrast between the red on the winglet and the clouds that we're in. Good lord, those are some dark clouds that we're going into. Let's check out the other side. Oh yes, it got gloomy real quickly there. Interesting. We still have that little glitch there, which... flickering of that, I don't really like it, but what can you do? Beautiful. Do we have rain? Yeah, we do have light precipitation all around us, as you can tell from the weather radar. Okay, 250 knots still. Okay, so we do have light precipitation all around us. It's gonna make it interesting. I wonder if there's precipitation around the airport. So there might just be. There might just be, ladies and gentlemen. Look how gorgeous this aircraft looks with a contrast on that red. Real nice. That is real nice. Okay, that is really good anyway. Beautiful. Okay, so we're turning into the airport. Where is it? Oh, it's still a bit ahead of us. We're looking good here. Let me go back into the cockpit. 5,900 feet coming up. Runway is right here, so we're supposed to be around 3,000 feet somewhere there, which it is going to be. We're supposed to be 3,000 feet around here. It seems like we're going to be just fine. So speed needs to decrease at some point. Okay. Looking good. That is looking good. No constraints on the way? There might be one. Yeah, there is. 3,700 at jelly. Okay. That's alright. I'm gonna change this to managed descent there. 250 knots still. 250. We're supposed to slow down to 227 by here, which is should be just fine. Should be just fine. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, we got the view of the land up ahead of us. That is looking lovely. Let me head back into the cockpit there. Looking good. I guess I could turn on my runway turnway. Not yet. Not yet. Okay. Just need to work on the flaps and the gear. Just need to slow down a little bit first before I can drop the flaps. "3,000 feet has been reached, ladies and gentlemen. And we need to... Oh. Okay. Need to start slowing down. Come on. Come on, drop that speed, mate. It seems like we're going to be crossing through some rain as we come into land into Sydney. So once we make the turn, I'll also get Sky Dolly going as well, so that we have some landing replays available to us. Let's see how this goes. There we go. We've got the coastline in view. Sydney is somewhere there. The airport, I mean. Well, let's see. Crosswind of 27 knots at the moment. That is not ideal. Of course not. It's not ideal, but let's see. Okay, we're flying slightly lower than we should, but better lower than much higher, so I'm not complaining about it. Not complaining about it at all. We forgot to take a look at the cabin, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Nonetheless, here we are. There we go, making that lovely little turn there. At which point, I shall run Sky Dolly. Sky Dolly running, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna turn on my runway turn-off lights and my nose lights to taxi here. It's fine. Speed has been decreasing. Let me drop flaps to position number 1. Okay, can't really see anything right now, but slats position 1 there. Let's put our flaps down there. Position number 2. There we go. Flaps coming down. I don't think the flap sounds are very good here. Don't think the flap sounds are very good. So we're not approaching in from like the harbor kind of landing, the one from the on the runway that's on the water. We're coming in through the land, I believe. Well, still from the coastline, but I hope you get what I mean. Okay, let's turn that on. Let's put this way. Need to drop some speed, don't we? Yes, we do. Anything else we need to do here? I don't think so, ladies and gentlemen. Just flaps and gear and we're ready to land. Flaps and gear and we're ready to land. There we go. Okay. Probably turn on approach mode here. Localizer caught, glide slope. Why aren't we catching glide slope? We're too high for glide slope. Oh good lord. Let's go down to 2,000 feet. Hopefully we'll catch the glide slope there. We're supposed to drop our speed. Come on, drop the speed. I don't really have a clear visual of the runway, if I'm being honest. Ah, there it is ahead of us. There it is ahead of us. Come on, descend quick. I want it to go down. Okay, flaps. Let's put down our flaps here. I need to slow down. Come on. Going to do that just to slow it down. Okay, we're coming in too high. I don't think we'll catch the glide slope, so for that reason I'm just gonna go in manual. We're gonna drop the gear here. There's the gear coming out. Can't really be here to show you guys that, unfortunately. We need to take manual control of this aircraft. Autopilot, please. Okay, there we go. Flaps pretty much set to landing. My aircraft, ladies and gentlemen. Because we went above the glide slope, unfortunately, but luckily we have visual and we're just gonna go with it. Okay. 1,000. Got a bit of a crosswind there. That's okay. Flaps full. There we go. Come on. Glide slope is there. I'm just gonna go in manually, not gonna worry about the glide slope now. 500. Auto throttle is not doing its job, is it? No, sir. 400. Oh, there's someone on the runway. Why are the instruments stuck? Our instruments are stuck. Wait, our instruments are stuck. I don't understand. Look at that. Our displays are completely stuck. What? I don't know if you can see that, but our displays are completely stuck. What's going on here? What? I have never come across this in my life. Why can't one thing go right in Microsoft Flight Sim? The display is completely stuck. All our screens are stuck. Like it's just stuck. The reverse thrust didn't work. Yeah, the reverse thrust isn't working. Good Lord. What has just happened? Our aircraft is literally frozen and I have zero control over it. What on earth was that? Ladies and gentlemen, I have no idea what's going on right now. What? Hello? Look at that. Our screens are completely stuck and throttles are stuck, not responding. What? What the hell? What on earth is that about? Can we put our flaps up? Hello, flaps up please. Okay, flaps up commanded. Is it happening? No. Is it happening? What the? Why can't one thing go right in this bloody simulator? I don't understand. Towards the end, I got so confused because the screen froze. What the hell? Let's go park next to our Qantas buddies there. If I can even brake this thing. Will the brakes work? That's a good. Okay, the brakes seem to be working. Flaps don't work. What is wrong with this thing, man? I was just talking about how this A330 is the only thing that I can actually fly, and look at it now. What the heck? Look at this. The nose wheel steering, it's turning, but the nose wheel is not responding. Like, there are no animations on the nose wheel. What on earth? 2024, what is going on? Huh? Man, this simulator is something else. This simulator is something. If it wasn't for the graphics, Microsoft Flight Simulator would have literally nothing. Good Lord. What the hell? Well, at least we made that landing. VJ Dave Kenya, you say change that on EFB. I fly it every day. What do you mean change that on EFB, mate? What exactly do you mean change that on EFB? What are you talking about? This is a glitch. Like the whole thing just frozen. You can see all my screens are frozen. And my nose gear, there are no animations on it. I'm just sliding around. I don't know what's going on. The flaps are not going up. I have no idea what you're talking about, mate. So if you could elaborate, I would appreciate that. But yeah, I don't know exactly what you mean by change that on EFB. There's a complete glitch. Okay, I'm just gonna park this thing. Look at that, an A380 taking off. Very nice. Alright, before we shut down this aircraft, if I can even shut it down, I'm not too sure if I can. Let's go ahead and take a look at the landing replay, shall we? Because I have it on Sky Dolly here. Let's see if it works. Okay. I've never come across this issue before, ever. Okay, so we do have landing replay, if it will let me do that. Let's find out. Let's find out. Yeah, it's a glitch. It is a glitch. Okay, I'm gonna replay it from here. And let's just see how the landing went at least. I mean, towards the end, I couldn't even see my speed or anything, so I got very, very confused and thrown off by it. Glide slope stopped working, speed stopped working, the whole thing stopped working, so I got thrown off. But let's see how the landing went. Reverse thrust didn't work. Or it did work, but the animation didn't show. Flaps. Oh, good lord, I don't know, man. Anyway, let's see. Let's see what I did. Okay. So that wasn't too terrible, especially considering the glitches. Wasn't the worst in the world, but okay. Wasn't the worst in the world. Alright, not too terrible. Let's take a look at a couple more views, shall we? Let's see what we look like from this view as we come into land, shall we? Okay. Okay, let's take a look. There we go. The overlay that I'm using something called Elevatics. Elevatics or Elevatix, however you like to say it. Elevatics is the new one that's been out. It's completely free. It's really, really good. Elevatics. Elevatx. That's what it's called. Anyway, let me head into our landing views here, see if we can take a look at those. Not too terrible today, considering the situation. Not too terrible. Okay, a little bit of a stutter there, but that's okay. There we go. All right. Very good. Real nice effects there by FS Realistic. I really like that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the landing replay from the other side. And then we shall try and shut down the aircraft. Okay, let's try from the other side now. Got you. Does it support 2 PC streaming setup? A 2 PC streaming setup with Elevatics. I've never tried, mate. 2 PC setup with Elevatics. I think you... No, I don't think so. Not yet. I know that it's still very new software, and I believe they're adding that feature. You need to double check whether they've actually ended up adding that yet, but I know that at the beginning that wasn't available, if I'm not wrong. So I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay, so there we go. There's our landing. Not too terrible. Plenty of aircrafts there. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. That is good right there. Okay. Let's now fast forward till we reach our parking now. And let's see if we can shut down our aircraft. Those replays were quite decent, if I'm being honest. Not too terrible. MSFS 2024, ladies and gentlemen. What an utter pain it can be. Okay. Let's head into the cockpit now. Let me see. Can I? Good lord, what is this? Okay, I'm just gonna go here to the ground. Just gonna toggle the GPU. Nothing is changing, so I can't tell if GPU is even available. Oh, good lord. See, nothing is working. Well, guess I could go outside to see. No, nothing. Nothing, ladies and gentlemen. We got a total glitch right there. You know what? How about GSX? Will GSX let me attach? Or is GSX also going to be acting funny for me? Yep, GSX is also acting funny. You need to stop the engine. Oh, good lord. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna shut the engines down. They're still gonna just appear to run, even though it's shut down. Okay, we've got some sort of weird glitch going on here. I don't know what it is, but never seen it before. Yep. Can't shut down the engines. Can't shut down the engines. Although it literally says off, I can't do anything about it. Can't access the menu, or I can access the menu. So panel state, can I do cold and dark? On GPU? It's not gonna change anything. We're stuck. Okay, I guess I'll just have to leave it like that. But before I do say goodbye for today's stream, just gonna go ahead and take a look at Sydney. Sydney is a handcrafted or star airport here in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, but from the looks of it, it's not exactly handcrafted the best, is it? It's not exactly handcrafted the best. There are no interiors available. Yeah, it's not really the best, but it is handcrafted apparently. It does have a really nice runway from the water there, from the harbor. That's pretty nice. That is pretty nice. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that flight. Unfortunately, we ran into that glitch, but apart from that, that was actually a pretty decent flight if it wasn't for that glitch. So, nonetheless, thank you so much for tuning in. VJ Dave Kenya, thank you so much for chiming in on the chat. And I shall see you guys on the next stream. Hopefully we'll have better luck with the bugs and stuff like that. But anyway, see you guys in the next stream. Take care. See you, mate. See ya.